Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow, that was pretty good. That was loud. It woke me up. And now that you got my attention, let's say good morning to everyone. Everyone, good morning. Let's get off to a great start today. Hope you're going to have a great day. I know things are looking up on a number of avenues on my end. Working out vigorously in the gym. Not a whole lot of technical difficulties going on with the website. That's good. Customer activity could be better. We're going to go into that in just a moment. Nice weather here in this new place we moved into called Camarillo, California. Nice place. Good things are going on here. Little technical issue there. Let's see, what else? Excellent health. We've been putting a lot of emphasis on homeopathy, otherwise known as alternative medicine. But I think we're doing great in this particular area. Feeling great. Lots of energy. Discovering new and exciting things all the time as far as additional herbs and different things that are going on to help us stay active and stay energetic and all of that. So appreciate it very much. I think someone's listening out there. What else? Oh yeah, before I forget, we run a full service surveillance and security equipment company. We have lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products. We have 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support. We have the largest inventory of items that not only can you buy, but you can rent or lay away as well. And we have an extremely large video library, which I like to highlight whenever we do these sessions, mainly because I want to educate people. I want people to learn about surveillance, counter-surveillance, and the video library actually helps supplement what we're trying to do as far as educating people. When you go to the video library, you can take a look at various videos. A lot of them were illustrating how the products look, how they work, and we talk. Excuse the noise. We talk extensively about technology, etc., during the video sessions. Yeah, by the way, I'm multitasking, so you're going to hear a lot of weird noises in the background. Those of you know me know I have to do 5 or 10 different things at once. So that's just the way I operate. I can never just concentrate and do one thing at a time. So anyway, the video library is going to occupy a lot of your time. So sit down with your cup of coffee, cup of tea, or whatever, and be prepared to be totally immersed in technology. The bug detectors, the GPS trackers, the nanny cameras, the listening devices, you name it. You're going to be looking at lots of products for a good amount of time when you sit down and start looking at those videos. And then when you move over to the articles directory, you're going to read a lot about a number of different things, exciting things that are going on. Some of them very controversial, but are always interesting, I hope. In the articles directory, we try to address a lot of up-and-coming issues, a lot of current issues, current events, things that are going on. We like to write about it and keep those articles. We like to keep those articles coming. If content is king, we are formidable because we believe in content. We believe in getting information or educational information out there and to the hands of the people, you guys, so you can have a lot of things to read. Okay. Let me see here. So when you get a chance, go over again to the articles directory and let's check out those articles and see what's going on over there, and hopefully you can find some things to read about. One of the latest things, again, that we're into is herbal remedies and holistic medicine, alternative medicine, etc. And cat's claw, for instance, is that's like cat, like a four-legged animal claw benefits. That's one of the things that you can probably read about when you get a chance. That's one of the latest articles. They're not only about surveillance and security. The articles just go on and on and on and on about everything imaginable. A lot of them are surveillance and security. How to do surveillance, how to track, how to avoid being tracked, et cetera, et cetera. But a number of them are general interest, or maybe more specialized in that. One of them, one of the latest ones, for instance, also talks about this particular protocol that the wireless phone companies are implementing or have implemented for the last 30 years. It's not very secure, and the technology is called what's it called? Signaling system. Yeah, signaling system 7. It's a vulnerability built into the protocol of how we do text messages, voice calls, etc., on the wireless carriers networks. And I called Verizon, and I'm looking into getting them to make it more safe and secure, because right now this is a way that the hackers are stealing the money from actual banks. So you heard it right. Due to the vulnerability with the signaling system 7, customers are finding that their bank accounts are getting drained by hackers. So anyway, I called Verizon to get them to look into this issue, and I suggest you guys do the same. Call your Verizon carriers, call your T-Mobiles, call your Orange, call your Rogers, whoever they are. Call them, Sprint, and immediately AT&T. I don't care who they are. Call them. Talk about signaling system 7, and on my LinkedIn page, which you can access directly from my website. On the left-hand side, you're going to see icons for all the social media networks that we're on. Click on the LinkedIn one and go there. Read about Signaling System 7, so you'll be prepared when you call your carrier. You can just copy and paste some of the same information from the article that I've already pre-written for you to give to your carrier, so you'll be prepared to have a very informed. Thank you. You'll have a very informed and hopefully revealing conversation with your particular carrier. So, thank you. These are just some of the articles that we've written. We're covering a lot of different areas. Some of the other areas that you may want to look into include the rental program and our layaway program. Talks about, the rental program and layaway program are actually creative financing programs that we've designed specifically to allow you guys to be able to afford state-of-the-art, law enforcement grade, lifetime guaranteed and warranted products, just like the FBI and the CIA and all of those 3-letter intelligence agencies or agencies of the federal government. We want you guys to be able to use and get access to the same state-of-the-art technology. And through the layaway program and the rental program, you too can have access to those, that same type of technology, same type of high-grade, sophisticated, state-of-the-art technologies, just like those guys, okay? And the rental program, by the way, allows you to rent your favorite products, try them out before you buy them, see if you like them. If you like them, keep them. If you don't, return them back to us, and just take advantage of the rental program on an as-needed basis. That works out for a lot of people. That has worked out for a lot of people over the years. So you can benefit from that significantly. And then check out the layaway program. Layaway program is another creative financing program. You can tell us how many weeks, how many months you want to lay away a product, and you typically choose the amount of money that we're going to charge you on your credit card. And then when you determine the number of months and the amount of money that you want to have us charge to your card, and the number of months that we're going to charge you, weeks or months, doesn't matter. And then at the end of the payment term, whatever that is, we include the actual shipping fee with that last payment, and then we turn the item over to you. We send it to you according to your shipping instructions. So we think that's a very, very creative way of you getting hold of the same state-of-the-art law enforcement grade, lifetime guaranteed and warranted products. So, moving right along, anti-terrorism. What about anti-terrorism? We're experts. We're formidable in the industry as far as offering the law enforcement and the military agencies, universities, schools, airports, harbors, ports of all kinds and sizes. We offer them, have been offering them, X-ray baggage scanners, narcotics detectors, explosive detectors, etc., hardened from the very inception of manufacturing to withstand cybersecurity threats of all kinds. Hackers don't get very far when they're trying to compromise our products as compared to the competitors' products, because we built in the ability to withstand attacks from the hackers. Not all manufacturers are even aware of this or are looking into this as far as making sure that their units are protected against hacker intrusion. So keep that in mind when you're looking for narcotic detectors, explosive detectors, and X-ray baggage scanners. Okay, give us a call. We'll submit a bid to you if you need a bid or a tender. Doesn't matter. If you want to be an agent to work in a respective country, in the Middle East, Africa, Asia, doesn't matter. Just give us a call, and we'll see if we can arrange some sort of agent-distributor agreement with you. We've only been doing that for 20 years as far as supplying the whole world with anti-terrorist products. Again, protecting all the airports, embassies, federal buildings, ports, harbors, hotels, universities, I think I said, you name it. We have experience in those areas. And today's episode, give us a call, 888-344-3742. That's 888-344-3742. Okay? Now, today's episode is all about, it's the economy, stupid. Now, we've named it the economy stupid, mainly because this is a saying popularized by Bill Clinton when he was in office. He tried to reassure people or warn people that certain things are going on within the economy, and you didn't have to necessarily scratch your head or rack your brains in terms of trying to figure out what's happening when it's the overall economy. Certain things you can change, believe it or not, and certain things you can't change. You can adapt, you can prepare, but if it's the economy, for instance, then you just want to be aware of that sometimes things are cyclical, sometimes things are seasonal, and those are the big picture macro issues that we want to deal with and not necessarily fight, okay? Sometimes you want to expend your energy wisely in those areas where it's going to make a difference as compared to fighting up against something that has more to do with this big general business and economic cycles that we go through, okay? So let's get right to it. Some of the things that are going on in the economy right now include, but are not limited to, massive, for instance, we're going through a situation where we have massive credit card debt. People are literally financing themselves into bankruptcy almost. When you take upon extra credit card debt, to the point where you're servicing those loans, paying high interest, borrowing from one source to pay the other source, that is not manageable, that's not sustainable, and it's not advisable, okay? So make sure you understand the numbers indicate, okay, that when I read about these things, I'm looking at a lot of statistical information. I'm reading about the economy and finances and such all the time. And one of the major areas of concern right now has to do with massive credit card debt as held by consumers, the highest it's been in a couple of decades. And this is very alarming for a lot of economists, a lot of analysts, a lot of people who follow these things. And I like to follow it myself just so I'll know how consumers are doing. You know, when consumers are doing well, I take that in consideration when I'm doing my marketing, advertising, planning, etc. When consumers are not doing well, then I at least keep that in the back of my mind, right? Gives me some idea of what to expect out of customers when I hear that the economy is not doing so well, and also I can tell, I have a very hands-on approach when it comes to this. My company has allowed me to be doing this for like 20 years, and we get calls from every conceivable type of customers who don't have very much money. A couple of $100, for instance, is a lot for some customers, and millions of dollars is what some of the other customers are able to spend. And over the last 20 years or 30 years, we've learned very well, just based upon the type of phone calls and emails, text messages, chat sessions, we are able to gauge the economic activity basically just by listening to the customers when they call us, when they communicate with us. Again, whether it's over the phone, email, chat session, whatever, we can get a pretty good idea before I even pick up the Wall Street Journal, or instead of picking it up now and I read it online, instead of reading it, before I even read it, I can tell, before I even go to Barron's, before I even take a look at, the New York and Washington Post, whatever source of information, I can pretty much tell already how things are going because of the nature of the phone calls. So again, you develop this becomes second nature to a lot of us because of our experience in these areas. So again, the credit card indebtedness is a major issue. You guys need to take a look at what you're doing with your credit cards and try to trim that back and realize that credit card companies are going to benefit, not consumers, when you abuse them and let them rule you as compared to you managing that and ruling your own credit cards. You have to get on top of that. Some of the other areas might be, for instance, card delinquencies. There are gauges and measures of how many how many car loans, subprime car loans, for instance, are very, very significant right now. Okay, there's more people who have subprime credit, they're subprime borrowers rather, and that means you don't have very good credit, you haven't been on the job very long, you didn't put very much money down or something, credit score is not that good, so you become a subprime borrower. And there's a lot of car loans out there by subprime borrowers who probably will get into trouble because of that specific situation where you're borrowing money for a car loan and you don't have ideal credit, you don't have a whole lot of money saved up, put aside, don't have a very good amount of time on the job. These are some of the things that are going to lead to a major issue if that starts to unwind, okay? And it doesn't take much, unfortunately, before some of these situations turn against you. If you lose your job, if you get sick, some family emergency or something comes up, and if you're already struggling, then guess what? Now this tips you over. This is the last straw, right? That breaks the camel's back, and then now you're really in a dire situation. So you guys need to get on top of that. Don't borrow so much if you can avoid it, and save up your money and pay as much as possible for the things that you want, the things that you need. Okay, try to pay cash if you can. If you don't have it, save up your money, sacrifice, compromise, as bad as it sounds, and then get what you want using as much cash as possible, not leveraged with debt and credit cards. That's not really intelligent, okay? It may play out in movies or in these rosy stories that people paint when they talk about what they've done and how well they've done, but they don't tell you the full story a lot of times. I'm telling you the full story. That's a loser's game, okay? Credit card companies are designed to do one thing, and that's devastate you financially and benefit them greatly, okay? And some of the other areas we want you guys to pay attention to is, let's see, the growth of the economy as measured by retail sales of your favorite department stores and such. When you look at your favorite department stores, even shopping malls, etc., we're finding that a lot of shopping malls are closing down. We have way too many malls, way too many retailers that are struggling. That's going to be another major issue because they employed a lot of people. And if you don't have those people working on those malls, working in Macy's and Kohl's and Macy's and Kohl's and Target or JCPenney, Nordstrom's, American Apparel, if people are being laid off from those companies, not working in those malls, not working in those stores, that means we got a lot more people who are going to be hurting, right? They're going to be struggling. If their skills don't allow them to go out and get better jobs, and now guess what they do? They go onto the unemployment rolls. Okay, they go to the employment thing and start collecting money from the government just to get by. And even though that's a good stopgap measure, it's being is being used by a lot more people than we really should be. And basically what I mean by that is there's way too many people that are falling into the unemployment rolls, okay? You always want to consider your skills. You always want to consider your education. And when you get a job, you always want to think about what skills you need for the new economy, for the new technology sector, for the new retail environment, for the new medical industries. What do they want as far as enhanced and upgraded skills? If you're not preparing yourself, guess what? You're preparing to fail. So make sure you understand when you get your job that you want and you like and all that, even a job that you don't like, somebody, make sure you understand you need to keep your skill level up. That way you become more valuable to the employer, more valuable to yourself, and particularly for those of you who are entrepreneurs, always consider what is the employer doing to really make money, and what could I do if I want to make money like the employer. Some of us think of a job as the means to an end, and some of us think about the job as a way to leverage our time and efforts to strike out on our own. We're always thinking about how we can eventually branch out on our own and do the same thing that the employer is doing. There's nothing magic about buying a product at $5 and selling it at $20 or something, or improving a product or a service and putting your name on it and making a ton of money just like the employer does. So keep that in mind as well. Bit of entrepreneurial advice for you. Getting back to the economy is growing very, very slowly. This 3 and 4 and 5% GDP that Trump is talking about, that is very, very unlikely to happen, according to a lot of analysts, a lot of economists. Just based upon my own experience, when you have a multi-trillion-dollar economy like the United States with an aging demographic where most of the people are like retiring and getting out of the workforce, and you have a lot of technology that's displacing people, like artificial intelligence, like robotics, like cloud-based services and such. This means that you're going to have less people participating, not more people, less people. So in order to get that GDP up to 3, 4, 5%, whatever he's talking about, you need a lot of people working. And that just doesn't make sense right now in this environment where you have more people that are becoming displaced as compared to more people that are going to be working. So something's not right with that picture that he's trying to paint for you guys. So don't take the bait because it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, there's just a number of different things. Oh yeah, the cryptocurrency, the one space, the one bright area has to do with cryptocurrencies. The new economy, as espoused by cryptocurrency enthusiasts, is taking off like crazy. Money and investment from Wall Street, Main Street, and everywhere else is pouring into alternative currencies, and they're exploring this technology. They're making remittances more efficient and faster, settlement times for stocks and everything else more quicker and efficient. Brokerage companies are looking into blockchain-based technologies and such. Countries outside the United States particularly are jumping all over Bitcoin and other alternative currencies as a means to preserve their value with their bogus fiat-based currencies. In the United States, we're seeing a massive adoption of the Bitcoin and the Ethereums and the various alternative currencies, and a lot of tons of money from Wall Street is going into the cryptocurrency space, and it's going to turn the internet, it's going to turn the economy upside down, just like the internet turned everything upside down when it first came out. So yeah, keep an eye on that. That's one bright spot. That's a big macro event that's happening for the economy, and it's going to affect a lot of different things. So be prepared for that. So we're going to close out this session and give you guys the opportunity to absorb and think about and contemplate some of the things that we talked about: what to do, what not to do. Credit card debt, loan delinquencies as far as credit cards are concerned. The housing market sucks right now. No new home starts. The entry-level homes, rather. There's very little activity in that space. No developer wants to take the time and effort to spend the money on starter homes for younger people, because that's not where the money is in this particular area in the housing sector. They just don't see the profits coming from entry-level homes. It has to be, the type of homes for the people who have a lot of money, and as compared to the people who are trying to get started. So there's a lot of indicators that they don't look very good for young people, up-and-coming people who need to get a start in life and then be able to contribute later on. So we're going to conclude this session, you guys. And if you have any need for bug detectors, X-ray baggage scanners, counter surveillance equipment, all sorts of spy gadgets. If you want to rent or lay away, that's fine. Give us a call, 888-344-3742, 888-344-3742. As I always like to say at the conclusion of every session, share this with a friend, relative, enemy, associate. Yeah. Share it with a friend, relative, enemy, or an associate. We don't care who you share with, just share it with someone. Let's see if we can help make the world a safer place, okay? You guys have a great day. Thanks. Take care. Bye.